Hey guys, welcome to our brand new video. Man, this is a very special for me, and the reason being, wait, hold on to your horses, wait. Ta-da! It's finally here, and this is recording right now. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Canon EOS RE. I'm so excited that even I'm like blah 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 blah. This is the Canon EOS R. I've been waiting ages to get this camera, and to be quite honest, I was between the Canon 5D Mark IV and the Canon EOS R, and I did a bunch of research, and at the end I was like, you know what? Let's go with the Canon EOS R. And then something very interesting happened. I got scammed on eBay. I'm not gonna go into details on this because it's still a full pain in the ass. But that being said, I went ahead and bought this baby right here, and I couldn't be happier. I just got it like a couple of days ago. I would say like 3-4 days ago, and the day before yesterday I got my first shooting with it, and I have to say I used it for some basic architectural photography and I was just blown away by it. But anyways, this is just a big ass parenthesis. Today's video has nothing to do with this camera at all, but it is really good. Today I'm going to be showing you how to bring your digital looking photos and give it that vintage looking old vibey type of look. So we're going to bring this and make it into this. So it's actually quite simple, and let's get into it. So of course I know it's Monday, so probably you have a lot of stuff to do, or maybe you're just still recovering from the weekend. So let's just go ahead and keep this video sweet and short. So like I mentioned earlier, today we're going to be talking about how to make your digital photos have that vintage, or well, not even vintage, that's not the proper term. The proper term would be pretty much the film look. You know, like if you would shoot with a proper 35 or 120mm camera, that's exactly what we're going to do, and I swear this is so simple. I actually say that on every single video, but trust me, it is true though. So, how simple it is, you asked? Quite simple. Let's go into Photoshop so I can show you. Alright people, so we're going to go from this to something like this. As you can see, if I zoom a little bit, you can see like that gorgeous grain and those fade shadows, and also it's not that sharp. So let us begin. Let's get rid of this group, and the first thing we're going to do is duplicate the background layer. So for that we're going to be pressing Command, Option and J, and press OK. So once you've got your copy, we're going to go up to Filter, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add some blur and some Gaussian blur. So click on this. So as you can see, I already have it on 1.6. You can go nuts with this, but I strongly advise you just to not go overboard with this. So I'm going to make around between 1.5 and 2 should be a sweet spot. Let's press OK, and this is going to be the before and the after. As you can see, it's very minimal, but it does make a huge difference at the end of the day. So let's just zoom out. The second thing we're going to be doing is again go to Filter, and this time we're going to add a little bit of noise. So noise and add noise. Again, you can go crazy with this, but just don't. Your image is going to look like crap, and you definitely don't want that. Something between 1 and 10 should be the sweet spot. 10 might be a little bit too much for me at the moment, so I'm going with probably with 3. Lovely. So now we're going to tackle the color. So just go down and let's add a curve. The first thing I want to do is I want to fade the shadows a little bit. So we're going to take our point right here and just lift it up a tiny bit. Not that much, just a notch, and bring this one a little bit down. Something around there looks really cool. You're going to go ahead and click on this drop down right here, and let's go to red. I'm going to bring again this point right here up, and this is going to add some lovely magentas into our shadows. And now go to blue, and this is going to add some yellows to our highlights. You know what, actually that's a little bit too much magenta for my taste, so let's just back that down a little bit. There we go. So that's the before and the after. It's still a little bit too strong though. So the cool thing about working with layers is that you can change the opacity, right? So in my case, around 85%. Looks really cool. What I'm about to do is completely optional, but I really like the way this looks because, again, one of the really cool things about taking photos with a film camera is that they're usually not that tack sharp. So we're going to tackle that. I'm going to select my background copy and I'm going to click Command T. So now that we've got this, I'm just going to come a little bit closer, especially to the eye area. And on my arrows, I'm going to go to the right. You can go to the left. In my case, I'm just going to bring my image literally just a tiny bit towards the right side, and that is going to give a very cool look. That's literally three clicks. And I'm going to change my opacity, let's say 75%. Can you see the difference already? Alright, now to my favorite part. We are going to be adding some texture. So if you go to the description box down below, you're going to find the link with these really cool textures that this lad from Behance uploaded. So yeah, if you want to go say thank you, I'm pretty sure he's going to be very happy about that. So you're going to get literally these images right here. I'm gonna take this particular image right here. So all you have to do is drag and drop. To rotate this image quite easily, just click Shift and it's going to rotate automatically to the perfect angle. So just grabbing those points right there, you can just make it a little bit bigger, but make sure the whole image is covered. So I'm going to go ahead and click Enter. And this is where it gets interesting. You're going to select your texture layer and then just click on the blending options. Usually I like to work with lighten, screen, and soft light, but as you can see, if we scroll through them, you can get a little bit of a preview, right? I like the contrast on lighten, so I'm sticking to this one. And like I mentioned earlier, the really cool thing about Photoshop is that you can change the strength of the layers. So I'm going to go ahead and change the opacity. Again, this is going to depend on the photo or like how strong you want this effect to be. I would say like between 50, 55, 58% works really well for me. This is still a little bit too much for me, so I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. I'm very happy with this. As you can see, this is the before and this is the after. And just like that, you're going to bring your digital image and you're going to give it that vintage 35mm look. So there you go, you guys. Like I said earlier, it was so simple to make and you can use it for so many things. You can create a very cool series of photos with this particular effect. Or something that I've noticed recently is that for Insta stories, people actually are using this vintage type of look of, you know, like just folded paper or just something like that. It looks really cool. So, you know, if you want to step up the game on your Insta stories or something like that, give this a try because, God, it's so simple. If you like this video, do not hesitate to go bananas on that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and by the way, speaking of subscribing, thank you very much to all of you guys who just subscribed in the last couple of days. This channel has been growing, you know, for me relatively fast, let's say, and I'm very happy about that, so let's just keep it going. If you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing by clicking that red button right there, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye! And before I let you go, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be testing the crap out of this camera for photographers and videographers. Yeah, I don't even know what to say because I'm so excited about this camera. So stick around because trust me, within, I would say like this week, I'm going to be talking about it more in depth. So thank you very much for watching. Now I'm gonna let you go for real. Bye!